Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Awall here from TGN Gamer TV, bringing you the very best Star Wars The Old Republic news discussion show. Oh yeah, we got the community here and we are live on my Twitch TV channel, link in the video description below. If you're not already familiar with the show, it's on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so come check it out. This episode, we're going to bring you some awesome stuff, including folks from the community, Verdaware, the custom gaming PC company. Very, very excited to have them here. We're also going to be covering big news that was dropped at the Guild Summit this week. Obviously, we're going to have Vertex giveaway, and also I believe there might be a little bit of a mailbag going on with questions from the audience, and obviously we're going to be taking your responses during the show, bringing them into the show, and making that part of this live discussion. I'm really excited, so in order to kick things off, it's time to do the most famous 2 words in Star Wars The Old Republic, according to me. Here we go, guys. Let's do it. Help me out, guys. Post in the comments. Here we go. Boom, sucker! No comments. There are the comments. Streaming delay. There's all the fans. Man, you guys left me hanging there for a minute. You had me worried. You had me real worried. Tearing it up, folks. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. Gonna head. Dang. Even more comments. Making that nuclear explosion that much more epic. Let's cut straight to the main grid here, folks. We've got everybody that you're used to seeing on the show. I'm gonna introduce the hosts, and then we're gonna get into our guest. That you should be interested in. Vertec up in the top left-hand corner. How you doing today, Vertec?
Fantastic, fantastic. Glad to be back. I missed seeing all these names on the screen.
Aww. Lord Hammer, leader of Guild Umbra, master of all things nailing, cloaked in darkness as always. We can barely see you on the screen. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How's everyone out there? So good to be back, and we've got some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. For a change.
Well, as you guys know, the show did take a small hiatus. I went on vacation, and when I came back, my PC was broken, so I got it upgraded, which is great. And MBD, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. It's been way too long, and just wanted to say that I give your Sucka a B+, but the Boom was a C-. So you could improve on that next time.
Just sticking it to me right to start things out. You owe me 200, so it is what it is. And right here to my side are our friends and guests on the show and community guests from Verdaware, the custom gaming PC company. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what Verdaware is all about.
Hey guys, I'm Vince.
Casey.
Thanks for having us, by the way. Verdaware builds custom PCs that are revolved around both MMO gaming and single-player gaming. And that's basically it.
So, like, what's your niche? I mean, is there any kind of special things that you try to focus on, like computers that are, you know, the fastest or ones that have the best build, or do you actually just try to do something where you optimize it for a specific game, like this computer relative to the components are optimized for WoW or TOR, or this computer with these components is what we recommend for like Battlefield 3? I mean, do you guys go into that level of detail working with folks?
Generally we just try to stick with the higher end computer with the lower end price.
Okay. And
That's
so
a good tagline.
I like that. I like that. Copyright it right here, folks. Intellectual property happening. I like that tagline. I'm looking through your website right now, and it looks like you've got 3 different series of computers here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the LX series, and why don't you guys tell us about this series, and just so folks out there, I mean, the most common question I get on my live stream, guys, is tell me about your computer, and what kind of computer should I buy, a nice gaming rig? You guys are the experts, so tell us about this LX series that you guys have on your website.
The LX series, it is the lowest computer, the 2400, is more than enough for pretty much any MMO, actually.
It'll run just about any game.
So
on highest resolution at maximum settings.
And so what's in it?
What's in the LX 2400?
I've actually got the 2400 open right now.
He's got it right.
Looks like it's an AMD Athlon based system. 500 gig hard drive. You got 4 gig of RAM up in here, decent power supply, and you've got an NVIDIA graphics card to go with that. So you guys, so let me ask you this: have you guys been seeing good performance with this system with, you know, using that NVIDIA card with an AMD Athlon processor?
Oh, definitely. It's actually the PC I own.
It's actually, yeah, it's really surprised us at how well AMD and NVIDIA work together to make pretty much any game run perfect.
Very nice,
Right.
very nice. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull the internet up. If you guys want to like refresh your video or something like that, I'm not sure what you can do. Maybe oh, never mind.
Oh,
Your video is
we're
just
on it.
lagging behind just a little bit. But excellent. So the LX series, obviously very reasonably priced here. Gaming PCs. How many of you out there in the audience are looking to buy a PC anytime soon? Go ahead and post in the comments. But the price point here, $800, $900. I mean, not too bad.
So, what are some of the games that you guys have targeted, or have you targeted any games that these machines are supposed to kind of be the solution for?
For the LX series, we're targeting more to MMO gamers. For the Demon and Raptor series, we're targeting to more higher performance games, more new single-player Battlefield 3-esque games.
Gotcha. I'm pulling up the Raptor series right now on the screen, and speaking of which, you guys gave me a Raptor series video. Do you guys mind if I play that real quick? And you want to talk about that here in just a moment?
Go right ahead.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. It's pretty sweet. These Raptor computers are amazing. Here we go. Check this out, guys. Yeah, and that's it, and that's the Raptor 2 computer, and I'm pulling up the website right now. Everybody just checked out the cool little trailer with the sick music. I've got the Raptor 2 pulled up. Do you want to talk about this system? First of all, the case looks kind of sick. It kind of looks Stormtrooper-esque to me, with a little blue flare there. Tell us about the system.
The Raptor 2, as we kind of put it, is more than enough of any game. I mean, you can run multiple games on this computer at the same time, all at the highest settings. It has the highest, for right now, the highest performance NVIDIA graphics card, as they haven't come out with anything higher than the 590.
Gotcha.
It has a Blu-ray drive, has more than everything. It has the option of AMD's new 8-core processor.
Very little upgrades.
Very little upgrades because there's not much able to upgrade.
What's the price point here with this system, this Raptor 2? Just so people have an idea. I mean, this is right. So I like what you're saying there. It's the cream of the crop. So like, what the heck are you going to upgrade here? You've crammed every amazing component into the computer. What's the price point with this just super upper level dream system?
A 2100.
2,100 bucks for all of this? Really? Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty sick, actually. Now, let me ask you this about, and real briefly, we need to get into the TOR stuff. An 8-core processor. Can games use that right now, or is that like future technology that games will be utilizing in the future? Is that something you can actually, use all 8 cores right now, or would it be a certain number of cores would be used for a game right now, and then the rest would be used for maybe other stuff you're running at the same time?
No, I'd say 8-core is definitely the future. Only so far have we just touched 6-core technology.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, this is a pretty sick system, so thanks for sharing it with us, guys. And I know you guys, gonna go ahead and pull you up on the screen. I know you guys are hardcore gamers yourself, so, in putting these systems together, you have the gamer in mind because you know what the heck you're talking about. You are ones, and I know you guys are telling us you have a decent amount of MMO experience. You guys just want to tell us the games that you have experience with so everybody knows where you're coming from. Then we're gonna get right into the TOR content.
Go ahead.
Okay. I play Lotro in League of Legends, that is. Vince?
I've played World of Warcraft, Rift, League of Legends. I've played pretty much anything, even like Wizards. I forget what that's even called.
Wizard 101.
Like I've played almost every MMO.
You played
I've
almost
tried
every
touch.
MMO?
I've tried
very nice.
tried to touch.
Very nice. And I missed the comment earlier here in the stream, but as soon as I showed that system, there it is. Malphus69 said in the comments, I've got the comments on the screen right now, he just bought one. Boom. The second I even showed your computer on the stream, boom, he bought one. Sale in the bank. Check your PayPal account, or I'm sorry, you probably have something more legit than that. But just like that, the power of Project TOR, my friends. So speaking of TOR, let's get into the TOR content, because since our last episode, there's been huge developments. A lot of information got dropped at the SWTOR Guild Summit. I've got an article here that MBD gave to me, a blogger here. Basically consolidated all of the information that was dropped in one link. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up right now and just dive right into it, because there's so much to talk about and so much to discuss, so don't be shy, audience. But basically, James Olin, the major features here, let's just go one feature at a time. Just going to start here at the top. There are some interesting things that are being addressed here that we've talked about on the show before about the success of SWTOR, and they say that they are the fastest growing subscription game in North America, selling over 2 million copies. Of these statistics here, did any of these stats about how big SWTOR is getting, 3.8 million characters, did any of these surprise you, Vertec?
Not really. I've heard all these figures already, so they didn't really take me by surprise too much. I mean, the average play time, 5 hours a day times 7 days a week, that's that is a bit surprising. I figured it would have been a little bit lower than that if they're averaging all the players.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's pretty crazy. So the average player, they're saying, is playing 35 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Think about that if you're like married and you have kids and you have a regular job.
So basically you, right?
It's like you wake up, you go to work, I'm assuming. Let's say you work a 9 to 5. You might see your family for a half hour, and then you work. You play the game until 11.
It's like they're treating the kids like cats. They have like a toy on a string, and they're like tossing it across the room while they're one-handed playing their raid.
Wait a minute, that's me.
What you think, MBD? Did this surprise you, man? These stats?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Vertec. I was very surprised by the amount, the average player. But I don't think there's a lot of married with kids people doing exactly what Hammer said every night. But you definitely got those people who play 10 hours a day, skewing those numbers. I actually thought the number of characters created, 3.8 million. That's kind of actually a low number when you think about 2 million subscribers. When you think about it, that's less than 2 per person.
You know what I think that is, though, to your point, is I think that's a function of everyone's trying to level up to 50, or they're just trying to wrap around that one tune, and they're not trying to blow a whole lot of story, especially with Legacy kind of sitting out there. They're trying to figure out what that's going to do. So I don't know if that kind of feeds into what you're saying.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and move on to the next subject here. Friends of the Star Wars program comes into play, and our friends here from Verdaware, not hardcore TOR players yet, of course hardcore MMO players, perhaps you guys would be interested in this one. Launching, well, what was yesterday when we're recording this program, it allows you to invite 3 of your friends to play the game for free for 1 week. Folks like the Verdaware folks, I know you guys have, like, in your living room, you probably have something like 20 Raptor 2s just sitting around, just waiting, like one for each game. Tell us, would you guys be interested in playing this game if like one of your friends came along and recommended the game? Is this a game that you would try out? And is this kind of program, do you think, obviously smart right now? Is 7 days enough? I guess, let's get to the heart of the question. Is 7 days enough to really get you hooked on this game? Or do you feel like you might need like 14 or 30 to really feel it out before you're willing to drop some dollars?
I'd say 7 days is definitely more than enough.
We've seen people play it enough and played a little bit ourselves enough to already kind of get a little bit hooked ourselves.
Fair enough, fair enough. MBD, for some reason I want to ask you about this, because 7 days, is this a long enough trial? Do you feel like they're just like, is that like, because you and I have talked about this for other games before, and we talked about maybe the concept of you need those 2 weekends, right? For the first weekend might be a bust. Like, something might happen, you can't do it, maybe that extra weekend needs to be there to make sure that you get hooked. It's like, you know, buying you that first pack of cigarettes and then having the second one waiting for you once you're addicted.
Well, I don't know. I actually think 7 days is probably the perfect amount of time. you actually don't need to give them any more than that. Right around time, even if you're not a really hardcore and you only play a couple hours a day, you're getting up in your 20s. You got your spaceship. The story's really starting to get going, but it hasn't started to get really grindy yet. So that's the point. They want you to get a certain way in, but not too far in, to where you're like, oh man, it's just another MMO. It's getting kind of grindy. Maybe I don't want this. So I think it's the perfect amount of time.
Interesting. I'm going to take a look at some of the comments here from the audience saying, yes, 7 days is enough. And Malphus69 saying that it should be 7 days actual playtime. 7 days
that's too much.
Yeah, you'd be able to max out to 50 potentially if you skipped all the dialogue. So I'm going to disagree with that.
Yeah, my time to 50, my /play to 50 was 4 days and like 12 hours.
Because you're such a boss. Any other final thoughts on that? Let's move on to the next one. And folks in the audience, if you're going to invite people to hop on board this program, post in the comments. I'd be curious to know. Any closing thoughts there? Let's move on because there's some other big topics here. All right, let's do it. There is a new war zone. New war zone alert. Whoop! Novar Coast on the planet of Denova. This war zone, I'm going to go ahead and let one of you guys explain this, as I have not looked too deeply into all of the details here, as this is fairly fresh information. Vertec, do you want to tell us about this new war zone of Novar Coast and what you think of it? What I do know about it is that it's going to be a capture and hold style similar to Alderaan. Do we know anything beyond that?
You know, that's about all that I know, to be honest. I really haven't heard too much about it. I do know, yeah, it's on the planet Denova, so apparently we're getting a whole new planet with it, too. But I don't know if it's just going to be we're going to travel right there, or if we actually do get to fly over there for the operation and whatnot.
I think also, don't you get to do faction on faction in that one, kind of like Football?
Yeah, that's the other really nifty thing.
They're actually moving to faction on faction for all the war zones.
Yeah, that'll definitely help the rotation of Football.
We're getting another tier of gear with it, which is awesome.
Yeah, War Hero, I think it's called.
War Hero, yes, correct. I heard about that. Now, that has been confirmed. I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, so let's take it topic by topic because there's so much, but new war zone, basically that's all we know, right? Capture and hold style. We're all happy that there's going to be a new war zone. So let's go ahead and keep going down that thread then with PvP and take it one topic at a time. You're talking about the War Hero, which is going to be dropped here, which I'm assuming is something that's going to be available at Valor level 70. Is that the information that's been confirmed?
That is actually incorrect. There will be no Valor level restrictions on this new tier of gear, which will be better than Battlemaster.
No level restrictions whatsoever. Interesting. Right. Interesting.
So what does that mean in English?
It means you don't have to grind Valor.
So you could just buy it and not have been up to what is required for 60 for Battlemaster now?
Correct.
That's not cool because I grind up to 60, dog. Now I'm straight raging, baby. I'm straight raging.
Yeah,
what's that all about?
They have gone on and they have said that Valor moving forward is mostly a prestige thing. It still limits you can't. I guess you still have access to that mount.
I'm gonna have to use use in dire situations only button. Sorry. Go ahead.
No!
I'm sorry, I had to bust that out at some point on the show, but I'm sorry to continue the joke.
So wait a minute, hold on. So maybe I misunderstood it, which shows how stupid I am. I thought that, they were just bringing out a new tier, but I didn't understand what they were saying about the Valor wasn't going to mean anything. So then if you grinded, or ground, whatever, up to Battlemaster now, does that mean that if I'm level 55, I can just go buy Battlemaster gear?
No, Battlemaster gear will still... Actually, I guess they didn't say this, but I believe Battlemaster gear will still be restricted. So you will just jump from Champion to War Hero would probably be what most people would do.
Yeah, nice. I'm like, why would I even bother with Battlemaster?
But that's kind of the way it goes. Whenever there's a new tier of gear, you kind of will skip a tier.
Then again, what would be neat, that'll almost become a status symbol in itself once they let you pull the mods out for set bonuses and whatnot. You'd wear Battlemaster as a symbol of, hey, look where I'm at.
Ooh.
One of the things I am worried about with the being able to pull the mods out, they specifically say, it's later in the notes, but they specifically say that Tier 2 gear will be able to have the mods pulled out. And me and the King of Town were talking about this earlier today. We think that means that they're not going to retroactively change the gear that's already out. Meaning the Ricotta and the Kalumi and the Centurion and the Champion and the Battlemaster, you won't be able to pull the armoring mods out of those. Only the new gear. They didn't confirm that. That's just what I get from that one little bit of text that says Tier 2 gear.
You hear that, Team Verdaware? You can just buy your way into getting awesome gear right when you hop in this game. Are you ready for the free trial? Are you ready to give $60?
Yeah.
Gonna have to.
Just like that. That's all I had to say. Yep. Pretty much.
So basically, they can jump in and be as epic as you are now.
Boo! No, I'm not gonna hit the button again because we're short on time, my friends. Let's move on to the next topic. Were there any other critical PvP elements? One is coming to mind right now that I heard. ELO system has been talked about here in terms of announcements. This ranking system is not, from what I've heard, is not going to be the doo-doo ranking system that I was anticipating. It's actually going to be a real ranking system. Exactly what the details are or not, yet to be confirmed. Do you guys have any detailed information on that beyond the fact that there will be an ELO system in play in 1.2?
I don't really have any details. I think, like I've said before, I'll be interested to see how it comes out balance-wise, because it's really hard to do a system like that with teams. But I do have the opportunity to correct you, which I love to do. That it's not an acronym. It's ELO. It's named after a person. So
whatever.
Take that.
It's ELO. Just like
not a great group from the 70s.
Just like I pronounced Dota, D-O-T-A with you, same thing. Warzone rankings based on, I'm going to pull it up here in the article, Warzone rankings based on group and solo performance. So that's very, very interesting. And new ranked PvP gear tiers, which we talked about earlier. So this is good stuff. And here's a blurry screenshot from the blog post. And it's like the elusive Bigfoot. So we don't know exactly what's going to be here. All of the statistics listed on this screenshot are like NA and not available and stuff like that. But interesting. So you will have rankings with a particular party and solo rankings. That only makes sense, and it's the only way I would think that you can do an ELO system, a period and a space and a slash and dash in between each of those. Let's move on to the next topic, unless there's any other hot topics here on PvP that you guys want to talk about right now with these 1.2 action.
ELO.
ELO indeed. New operation coming along, Explosive Conflict is the name of this one. A bunch of details here in this blog article as well. This one's going to also be on the same planet of Denova. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the details here, where there's a bit of discussion. What do you guys think of this new operation? I'm going to go ahead and just straight up hand this over to NBD, seeing that you're leading your own raid and you are more of a PvE expert than me. Of the details they've given so far, what do you think of this new operation? Do you feel like new operation is just absolutely critical right now? Or do you feel that you're satisfied with the current number of operations and variety there?
Oh, a new operation is absolutely critical. It's time for them to move on to that new tier. My raid group has only been raiding for 2 weeks, so we clearly haven't cleared everything. We're only like 4 or 5 in EV hard mode. But there's definitely a bunch of guilds that are completely filled up, done everything, and they need that new tier. And they haven't really said a lot about it, except that it's going to be harder. But what does that even mean? It's gonna require more coordination. It's gonna be less about gear checks, which is all great. But developers always say that, and we'll see if it actually comes out. I would like to see some new mechanics. They also talked very briefly how they wanted to do things that were quote-unquote Lucas style. I don't know why they said that, but basically the idea of having...
What is that?
I think I kind of understand it, but basically it means they're going to have they want 2 people to go do this, and 2 people to go do this, and 2 people to go do this. And I think what they basically mean is kind of like in an adventure movie, you don't have all 8 people going in one direction, you have people going and doing objectives. And if they could build that off and pull that off, I think it would end up being really cool. We'll see, though.
Specifically for that, what they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate the feel of the Return of the Jedi. So, Luke was with Darth Vader, and Han and Leia were down on Endor, and then
I see.
what's his name was in space doing a space battle. So that's exactly right. What he just said.
What's his face? Very nice. No, I like that idea. It's more of that adventure thing, and I like that. You get to play different roles and go take on different tasks therein. Let's take a look at just the very specifics here. Basically exactly what Danny's saying, right? A lot more coordination in order to execute these. A nightmare mode will not be launched in patch 1.2. It will come after new additional mechanics on nightmare difficulty will come into place. So it's not just going to be the scaling of mobs and that type of thing and bosses. It's actually going to be new mechanics that will actually make it more nightmarish. I like that idea. And renaming normal mode to right now to story mode to better reflect the difficulty. So it's like going to be a difficult story to stomach. I'm not exactly sure what that mean by that.
Basically, that means if you've done a normal mode operation, you know that you can just face roll it. It's so easy. Like we went through and we did normal EV and normal Karagas, and we one-shot everything. And that's fine if that's what they want it to be. That makes sense. You can go in, you can see the story, you can pug it. That's perfect. And then if you're looking for the challenge and the really good gear, go to hard mode. I think that's a great way to do it.
You know, I like what the audience is saying here. You know, one comment here from the King of Town is that he's really digging this idea of, okay, so you go blow up the Death Star, and I'll go shut down the shield generator. And that is pretty darn epic, because you're counting on your other team members, and obviously if these different tasks on the mission are actually contingent on each other, and, you know, you can put pressure on your boys like on TeamSpeak and Ventrilo, and even like smack talk each other as you might be failing on your end of the mission, but I completed mine, which just adds a new social aspect and a new smack talk aspect. And, you know, smack talk is generally bad, but in MMO, smack talk is actually the main way that people connect with each other. So I think that could be a very, very good thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, Hammer.
Nothing, Ed.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other features here, because there's so much more. Oh, and I see some upcoming stuff that Danny will be so excited about. Let's take a look at the new Flashpoint. That's not it, though. New Flashpoint is Lost Island. Lost Island Flashpoint. I'm pulling up the graphic here of, looks like some lightning coming down and striking a big, huge-ass Rancor/Minotaur dude with a fist that weighs, like, as much as a semi-truck. Do you guys have any details on this, and is there anything in particular that you'd like to talk about with this new Flashpoint?
Well, first off, he's pretty. But no, beyond that, yeah, it's like part 2 to the Chaos Under Siege, which some people like myself stumbled across it. It's actually active as far as getting the quest, but then you try to go in and it tells you, sorry, not ready yet. Come back later. Which I fell on it accidentally one day and said, what WTF is this, guys?
Yeah, I had the same thing when I first went to Kaon. There's the droid that says Lost Isle on it. So, but other than that, there's no information about what it's going to be about.
You?
Fair enough. So they're doing the same thing that they've done in the past, where they just show you an image and they let you imagine that it could be the greatest thing in the entire world. So new Flashpoint, thumbs up. I think we can all say that we'll be very happy with that, as new content is good. So, I see some comments here that I agree with, so I'm going to pull them up on the screen and then we'll move on to the next section, saying that Kaon Under Siege is the best Flashpoint coming from Zycom. I agree. And that's the only reason why I pulled up your comment. Thank you very much. So there will now be an expanded legacy system. Another one of the things here. I mean, more and more. There's some major stuff being dropped here in patch 1.2. So the expanded legacy system, which we talked about on the show. New legacy abilities is the thing that really caught me, including a Sith using a flamethrower. Don't flame on me, guys. Oh, badoomts, I'll be here all week. New races unlocked, including Chiss, legacy unlocks, practice dummies, and a mailbox for your ship. So let's go one by one on these and tackle these one at a time. New legacy abilities, Sith using a flamethrower. I want to send this to the Verdaware guys, because this is something that just Star Wars fans in general, what do you think about freaking like Darth Vader or Sith or Darth Maul being like, you don't know the power of the dark side, and then pulling up a flamethrower to take somebody out? Like, does that seem sacrilegious to you, or what's your impression just as a Star Wars fan?
I think it's unnecessary.
Well, the good part about it, though, that they did toss in is you do need a companion to be able to use those. And it's only after you get another character up to that level. I mean, I could see limited enforcement of it, maybe. Like, their midichlorian count is really small.
Yeah, and you can only do it during your heroic moment ability, which I don't think it's mentioned in those notes, but as your legacy level goes up, the cooldown on that ability will go down, and the duration will also go up.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's heroic ability, only heroic moments and whatnot.
But
so
the most interesting thing I thought was, not only if you get, say you get a Sith Warrior to level 50, all your other characters now have access to the Sith Warrior buff.
Okay, interesting.
Which is going to be really nice for example, my particular raid, we're just doing an 8-man raid, and we don't have any warriors. So we don't have the buff, which really kind of hampers the... So if I just get if I get a warrior up to 50, then all of a sudden my Inquisitor has the buff, and then that problem's solved. And I think that's a really nice, smooth way to solve the problem. And I don't think it really causes any imbalance issues, because like, oh yeah, now you have access to 2 buffs, but you know, you could just get them from grouping with anybody anyways.
Fair. I mean, that's going to be pretty amazing, and obviously gives everybody the incentive, right, to experience that story that they've been pushing so hard from every aspect, so you can really get all that voice dialogue and really get in there. So that's going to reward a lot of people that want to make alts, and obviously there's a good reason to make alts in this game, to experience that story. Follow-up question for the Verdaware team real quick. How would you feel about a Wookiee using a double-sided lightsaber and coming at you?
You mean like
I don't know how to feel
SWG?
about using a force.
I'm having a hard time picturing it. Oh.
me, I'd be scared. That's all I gotta say. I'd be scared.
Yeah, I would need a new pair of pants.
You've got the traditional bowcaster, but other than that, I can't see him using anything else.
Fair
If I
enough.
would-
I mean, it's kind of like locked in your mind that, you know, they just
Yeah.
it just is 2 conflicting elements. Fair enough. That makes sense to me. To me, in my head, and Hammer's saying SWG. Were Wookiees using lightsabers in SWG?
Yeah, you could be a Wookiee Jedi in SWG.
Fair enough. The audience, every time I mention Wookiees as a race, you know, people are talking about Wookiees now, please, Wookiees, Wookiees, Wookiees. I want it. And somebody's asking how to spell Verdaware. It's Verdaware. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part of this. New race, Chiss. Not huge news, but I mean, who's excited about Chiss?
What do you mean it's a new race? What do you mean a new race?
New race
I
is
assume-
unlocked, is what it's saying.
Oh, got
I
it.
assume it's for more of the classes.
Right. I'm sorry. It's not a new race overall. I apologize. We should clarify.
In the aspects of new races, I didn't realize this until I just read it today. It says when you level a character up to 50 with a race, you then unlock that race for all classes. What that means is all classes across both sides.
Yeah.
Meaning you could
And-
have a Sith pureblood Jedi.
Yeah. And then if you run up with a human up to max level, you get, I believe it's an enhanced presence stat on all your characters, since
Right.
they can already be anything.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty interesting. And for all of you role players out there, that is another very, very cool thing that you could use in-game to support that type of story. And have a conflicted character with, you know, with the, well, that's classic story stuff, right? Having a sordid background and then get thrown into the opposite situation. Classic storytelling elements. I like that. Also, Legacy unlocks practice dummies and a mailbox for your ship. Practice dummies, we've brought this up on the show. What is your preferred practice dummy? What is it that you'd like to pump full of blaster and or lightsaber the most in the whole Star Wars universe?
Consular.
Just the consular, like just generic consular?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How about
Jar
you,
Jar
Hammer?
Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar
whatever.
Binks? Jar Jar Binks, that seems pretty solid. Only if they have the voiceovers to go with it. Like, oh, so no, me no like. How about you, MBD?
I don't really have one. I would just like if there was like an actual combat log that the practice dummy would be useful.
Fair enough. So you don't care if it looks like a scarecrow or like an actual just punching bag, as long as it just gives you the information that you're after.
Yeah, and well, there's more to talk about that coming up, so I won't rant on that yet.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. And comments from the audience. Jar Jar, very, very popular comment here. And the Sarlacc coming up is another one. Very nice. That is a, you just killed me there, buddy. That doesn't even make any sense. But, okay, let's go ahead. That's the king of town for you, man. That's the king of town. Let's go ahead and check out some other aspects here. Here's MBD's favorite. The one that he's just so pumped about. Advanced UI customization. oh, it's like you can like zoom in and zoom out. It gets bigger and smaller. Also, from what I've seen, it gets bigger and smaller. Are there any other elements here with the UI that they've seen that you're really excited about, or not? Let me ask you that, MBB.
Well, when I read a little more today, and there is some better stuff, like you can move your quick slots around and you can make them into that rectangle. Because I don't like mine to be in just a straight line. I like to put them in a rectangle to kind of mirror what's on my Naga, and I feel like it does the space a little better. You can do that. That's nice, but you still only have 4 bars, which is just ridiculous. And I don't know why they're like, we're trying to add more. It's like, what do you mean you're trying to add more? Just add more.
Just add more. Okay.
Just add more. Like, look at. I mean, I say it every time we talk about you. Look at bartender. I mean, you can just add a million. So I don't know. There must be some sort of technical issue, or there's something I probably don't understand, and I'm oversimplifying it. But just do it.
Yeah.
All right, listen up, BioWare. Add it.
Don't make me wait.
Don't make me wait. He says. That's a threat. That's a straight up threat right there.
I threaten them on Twitter about that like every day with that same phrase, but I don't think they're listening.
Hammer, what do you got to say about this, bro?
I've had trouble really getting out the last 3 episodes of the TOR Syndicate podcast because I was really afraid that it was just going to be a rage cast, right? And the reason being is that the game is not bad, but there are elements of it that are just not there, right? And so UI is one of them. And when you talk to a lot of these guys, they're like, well, X didn't have it at launch. And I'm like, okay, X has been around for 7 years. So why do I have to wait for something that's just considered a staple? So for example, like a ready check system or a guild tax system for a guild management system. Damien Schubert said in the thing, oh, I just realized 2 weeks ago we didn't have a guild tax system. I'm like, really? Did you just say that out loud? So I guess the point is there are things that are basic that should have been in there. Why they have to be so hard, I don't understand. I don't know why these things can't be modular and they can't be added without there being some patch. And then let's just say when they do come out, I'm not, oh my god, this is so cool because it's so basic. You know what I mean? It's like, why am I going to act like so happy to have some basic stuff? I don't know.
I mean, that seems like very, very honest feedback, and I know you're not trying to rage right now. You're not trying to rage about it. I mean, that's your honest feedback. I mean, what a lot of people, and this isn't just you saying these type of things. A lot of what a lot of people are considering basic stuff is being put in right now. Or is going to be part of 1.2, or maybe even future patches, and that is frustrating for a number of people. Any other thoughts on that one? Otherwise, we got a number of other features that are going to be dropped here into 1.2. Danny, I see you grabbing your headset like you have something to say.
Yeah, I do want to. I just want to take an opportunity to say something positive. One of the things I did say is when you customize your UI and you move it all around and you change it the way you just want it, you can then save that as an XML file and share that, which is something very simple and something that is very very prevalent in WoW mods, but I just think it's nice that they're adding it, and that'll be, I think we'll see if there was more, and I hope they keep with that when there's more to it.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and move into the next items. New Corellia daily missions. Everybody say it with me. Yay.
Yay, dailies. Alright, moving on. New
mini pets. Yay! Let me pull up the cute picture.
Yay.
Hey, look at that. It's making a crazy noise. I can almost imagine what that noise is going to be like. Something like that. This little crazy dinosaur goat thingy. I love it and I want it now, and I would pay money in a microtransaction. Hopefully BioWare is not watching. But the little mini pets get me, dude. Like the little mini sandcrawler. It murders me deep inside how cute that thing is. So, new mini pets, I'm very excited about this. Is there anything in particular from mini pet audience folks would want? Oh, it's a tauntaun? Is that a baby tauntaun? Oh my god, so cute!
Looks about like it.
Alright, enough of me
Maybe
being
when
I'm embarrassing
1.3 will have
myself.
pet
Oh no,
battles.
the Verdaware guys have a classic black and white picture up right now. But, so, folks from the audience, is there anything that you guys would want, and any hosts here? Otherwise, let's move on to the next item.
I like pets, but that's all I got to say about it.
I like turtles. All right, let's see,
Yeah.
let's see what the audience wants here. Mini pads. Let's see. Anybody? Mini Ewok, a mini Jawa, and a mini Ewok. So they want things that are small to be even smaller for double the cuteness. I think the universe would implode in on itself if that occurred. So we're gonna try to stay away from that one. All right, let's take a look at the rest of these features. We need to cut through this because we're getting towards the end of the show, folks. We need to move through it. New gear being dropped in here. Pictures of that gear here. Nice blurry pictures. Looks like some cool gear. Some more like Transformers looking stuff with the crazy shoulder pads. This
Yeah, I
dude
don't
sort
care.
of
That's
looks
a
like
wicked
he's in
trooper.
like Tron and Halo at the same time or something. Do we have any details on this, or is it just kind of some cool screenshots? Vertec, I'm sorry, you were just speaking.
I was just saying, I don't care. That's a wicked looking trooper, though. I really like that. I was debating rolling a trooper just for that gear.
Oh, don't get me wrong, that trooper looks sick, bro. That trooper looks awesome. The helmet, the whole thing. He looks like he would just be able to straight kick your face in. That's really, really slick. That's a really slick look. I poke fun because I love. Take a look at the Empire gear. Not really seeing anything too insane here. This gear right here, though, this helm here on the red guy, looks sort of demonoid almost. So this is very, very interesting. I can't wait to see what the new looks are. And, you know, we've talked about this on the show before. Getting some nice, fresh looks into the game will be great because a lot of people are looking the same right now. So that'll be a really nice addition. Okay, let's move on to the next topics unless you guys have anything else on that matter. Cool. New
None.
gear, good. Thumbs up on that. All right, let's take a look. Also, new vehicles, extractable tier 2 mods, new lightsaber colors. We'll come back to that one in a moment. Ship droids gain affection. There's new crafting schematics, craftable augments, legacy item drops, and new roleplay emotes. I'll let each of you choose one of these that you're most interested in. You'll have 1 minute to talk about it, and then we've got to stop talking about 1.2. Lord Hammer, pick one out and go.
Pulling of the mods out is going to be really interesting. I think that the things that they're going to be putting the base stats in are going to be the armorings, I think they call them, which normally in like PvP or raid or some kind of special gear does not have an armoring in it, so that'll be the thing that holds it. So it'll be cool to be able to do that and actually adjust your look to kind of the way you really want to look. Because right now, if, for example, if you're a Sith Warrior at endgame, if you PvP and you have a full suit, well, guess what? You're going to look like Spawn from the comic books. If you raid a lot and you have a full suit of, like, raid gear, well, then guess what? You're going to look like a Transformer. Neither of which have anything to do with Star Wars, neither of which have any Star Wars feel to me personally. So being able to do this, I think you'll be able to take interesting gear, whether it be social gear or just some of the drops that do fall, because a lot of the armor in the game really is awesome looking. It just happens to be lower level. So I think you'll be able to take armor that you like the look of and really kind of customize the way you want.
Cool. I like that idea. Vertec, how about you? What's your top item here out of this list of new cool stuff that's coming into play that interests you the most?
Well, the one thing that caught my eye right off the bat, it may not interest me the most, is the craftable augments. I'm curious who's going to be able to craft them, but at the same time, I'm really happy that they can be crafted, so you can start requesting certain stats rather than just looking on the GTN and asking friends, and if they don't have them, oh darn, guess I can't get it.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, MBD, what's your top item here?
Definitely the removable armoring mods, especially because they're going to take the set bonus with them, and it's just that's just something I don't think any other MMO offers in this kind of cool way. Some of them offer that appearance tab, which I think is just kind of a cop-out. This way, you can look exactly like you want to look if you take that extra time, and it's just a really nice customization. And yeah, like Cameron said, a lot of the lower level gear and the orange gear looks great, but then the raid gear looks okay. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But you got 3 sorcerers in your raid and you all look the exact same. That's boring.
Fair enough.
And the color palettes are all the exact same for the end game,
Yeah.
so either red and gray. Those are your options if you're in the Empire.
Those are the only cool colors, man.
Big
Apparently.
Nate here in the comments is saying that the open market, the neutral market between Republic and Empire, interesting him the most out of all the new features coming up, which is a really, really cool thing. And I wonder if there will be cross-server marketing in the future. Who knows? But Verdaware, I need to incorporate you guys here. So I want to ask you, if you had a lightsaber color or blaster color of choice, what would it be? Any possible color. If you could just bust it out right now, what would it be?
I'm gonna have to go with green.
Green.
Light side.
Is that a
Light
unanimous green from both of you?
No, I'm going to say black and silver. Because Star Killer's a boss.
I'm a fan of Liam Neeson.
All right, fair enough. Honest answers. Very nice, guys. Black and silver. That sounds sick. All right, guys, it's time to move into the next segment of the show. I'm going to hand this one over to Vertec. It is time for everyone to get free stuff. You know you want free stuff. And Vertec, you've got about 5 minutes here to get through this. And MBD, just so I know, do we have a mailbag segment? I know we took a bit of a break. Are we going to skip the mailbag segment this week, or do you have a segment you want to talk about this week?
We are going to skip the segment. I want to take one quick second and say I missed it during the UI conversation. Just cut me off when I go too long. But the out-of-base combat log, out-of-game parser only, not good enough. Not good enough.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Danny's made his point about these over and over and over again every episode. You're like Bordeaux von Cinnabon right now. All right, Vertec, your giveaway is happening right now. Tell everybody about the rules. Tell everybody how they're going to answer. And tell everybody about these sick prizes, and I'll pull them up on the screen whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, since this is my segment and he can't respond, I'm going to go ahead and tell MBD. Remember when you told BioWare that they could just make a parser and you'd parse it yourself? Okay, so
I did. I will do that.
Is it James?
There needs to be two things in game and out of game. Out of game only is not enough.
Well,
Okay,
not only
got it.
that, but here's the other part. The way I took it is it's only individual. So I only get a save to my hard drive log of what I did, and then you only get one of what you did.
I'm cutting you guys
everybody-
off. I'm cutting you guys off.
Yeah,
We need to go to the giveaway. Vertec, give stuff away.
Yeah, is there a James Shoughton in here? There was no Twitch name attached to the email, by the way. I spelled it out in chat there. Hello, Bueller? We'll go ahead and ask again next week. But he was the only one to send an email with the proper questions answered. All three answered correctly. So we're going to try again next week and see if we can get him. Again, you're going to get a whole month worth of game time paid for plus guest appearance on Awall's live stream show. So that's a good prize. This week's prize, however, if you could go ahead and pull all that stuff up on the screen there.
You got it. Hold on. We got somebody claiming to be James Shoughton. Oh, it's the King of Town. Seriously, King of Town. Anyway, let's pull up some real stuff here. Star Wars The Old Republic Lost Sons 1 bundle. Very, very cool. Tell us about it, Vertec.
This is number 1 through 5 of the digital comic from Dark Horse. This was also written by Alexander Freed, if you guys know that name. Anybody go ahead and type in chat if you know what else he's written. But either way, the question here for this week to win this prize is going to be after the forming of the Brotherhood of the Sith, Exar Kun and his apprentice attacked the Jedi library on Ossus. Ossus was destroyed in the battle. Shortly after, Exar Kun's apprentice turned on him. Who was his apprentice and what started his rise against Exar Kun? First person to answer gets this little bundle. And again, this is all 5 digital comics. You can download this to your PC, you can put it on your iPhone, your iPad, your whatever. If you have a Nook, you might even be able to put it on that.
I know the answer.
Friedenand. Nice. Good answer, Mobius, but not quite proper.
Drop that question on him one more time. Drop that question on him one more time.
Okay, and again, this info can be found on SWTOR.com. Every little bit of info on all these quizzes always come from SWTOR.com. And again,
The Verdaware guys are looking it up.
yeah,
They're
this
like, I want to
specific
win
one
that.
came from the timeline HoloNet. But after the forming of the Brotherhood of the Sith, Exar Kun and his apprentice attacked the Jedi library on Ossus. Ossus was destroyed in the battle. Shortly after, Exar Kun's apprentice turned on him. Who was his apprentice and what started his rise against Exar Kun? We'll give it about 30 seconds and then I'm going to drop half of that question. I'm going to give you half of that answer.
Dang, it's like a real
Mr.
game show
Gotcha.
up in here.
Mr.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Figured
I know.
somebody would have Googled it by now, if nothing else.
I know the answer.
Oh, I know the answer too.
Oh, come on, guys. This prize has a value of
already
over $7.99. You should be straight up climbing over each other, killing each other for this. Hacksawing each other's accounts.
Yeah, Corpse. No IT related questions. Sorry. Okay. Well, one clue I'll give you. He started to turn on XR Kun because he was remorseful for slaying his own brother in combat. And that was at the Battle of Ossus.
I know.
Doom, 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 doom. There are 64 people in chat and nobody knows this? For shame.
We didn't know it 2 seconds ago, and we already do.
Hey, we have an answer. Benby 55.55. Ulik Keldroma. Spelled slightly incorrectly, but it's still a win. It sounds like it would be Quel. It's actually Qel.
Boom. So what does this man need to do to claim his prize?
Benby, I'm going to send you a message through Twitch TV and instructions on how to claim the prize.
Congratulations, you are a winner. You win this excellent prize. Yes, indeed, the 1 through 5 bundle. Do we have more of these bundles to give away in future episodes, Vertec?
I'm gonna say we have about 1 or 10 more to give away.
Dang!
One of those.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god, we're just made of money on the show. Vertec,
We
very,
have
very nice.
fat loots.
Fat Loots, baby. You win. You are the winner. You are an internet celebrity. Over thousands of people will see you. Look at how famous you are. Congratulations. And somebody's saying that they're going to slice their feet off, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those comments off. Thank you very much, Vertec. That was a fun little giveaway segment.
Hey, like I said, I was surprised more people didn't call that one out. They were biting at the bit last time.
King of Town wondering what this song is. The song's name is Regret. The song's name is Regret. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here, guys. And thank you so much for joining us. And before we go, we're going to get back to our special guest. I want to thank the boys from Verdaware for coming on to the show. Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to our jibber jabber and talking about your cool computers. And yes, indeed.
It was a fun time.
Yes, indeed. And if you guys want to catch their website, just come on over here, check out the different systems. This is Verdaware.com. Putting a link in the video description on both YouTube and on Twitch. Go check them out. Put together a system. Buy it. Let them know that we sent you. And that would be awesome. So go over there and buy some awesome gaming computers, will ya? Definitely some competitive pricing here on their computers. And some pretty sick-looking cases. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go to the main grid, and it's time to do that awkward goodbye part. Vertec, go ahead and say goodbye to the audience.
Bye. Have a good night. Thanks for coming.
Wow, that was extremely awkward. Hammer! Cloaked in darkness, my friend. Wow. Even more awkward. MBD, thanks for joining us, buddy. Why don't you say goodbye?
So here's what I think they should do to improve the UI.
All right, Verdaware guys, wave goodbye.
Hey, everybody.
But
Right on, guys. Really cool, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be posting this up on YouTube. A link to this live stream, if you want to watch this live every week, in the video description below. Otherwise, we are streaming with these folks every week, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Awall TGN live stream. You gotta love it. You gotta come check us out. We're having fun all the time doing Star Wars The Old Republic PvP and also etc. So come check us out there, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the Star Wars universe. Peace out.
Night.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.
Who started that creepy bye crap?
I did.
Vertec.
Oh, Vertec did?
Is it
Yeah, well,
who
yeah.
started it?
Yeah, Awall said say goodbye awkwardly, and so I said goodbye awkwardly.
All right, I'm going to kick us off the air. Now the story is officially set in stone, and we can set that straight. It was Vertec. It was Vertec.
It was always Vertec.